to another exciting episode of Insurance Question Podcast number 175, Don. Holy crap, how did we get that far?
Woohoo, baby. Can't believe it.
We're going to have to do something big for 200. So
I know, right?
I don't feel like doing the math, even though I'm supposed to be the math person. So, Eddie, do the math. When is that date?
So on Tuesday, tax day, on this exciting episode, Sassy Sarah tells us how to cheat the IRS. Will Donny talk about other people that are older than him? Because it is our buddy Gordon's birthday. Happy 86th birthday, Gordon.
Oh.
Will Eddie Buffalo just lose it as always? Probably. Yes. Maybe. Yeah. So all the comments and statements by Eddie Buffalo, Sassy Sarah, and Donny Lowe are purely for entertainment purposes. So you guys do your stuff and I'll start sharing.
Yes, like, share, subscribe, do all the things on all the socials. Eddie really loves the attention, so email him with any questions, concerns, comments that you have for shows that you want to see, information you want from us, or just how much you love Donny and Eddie. I mean, he loves it all. He loves it all.
Hit that fan mail button if you're listening to the podcast. And TikTokers, and we always say this, we know how much Eddie loves TikTok and corresponding with you, so get in touch with Eddie that way. View his videos, because some of them sometimes they appear like they're overtly funny, and other ones are subvertly funny, so you just have to watch them.
Don loves using them fancy words. I don't know about that.
Yes. Well, and I was also going to mention, I know that there's a ban on TikTok and they're going to try to phase that out. There's talks to try to save it. But if you're seeing this on TikTok or you see any of our reels, follow us on YouTube. Follow us on many of the other platforms that we're on, so you don't miss anything.
That's right. And always know that we really do appreciate you viewing, subscribing, listening, and watching us. So thank you so much.
I got to tell you, when I'm sharing it to places and to people, particular people, I put live shoe all the time, and I always think about Ed Sullivan.
Ed Sullivan. We have a very good shoe for you tonight.
Very good shoe tonight. And, I just laugh because my fat fingers will always do the wrong letter, So,
there's a talk about Ed Sullivan.
You guys keep talking because I'm not done yet.
All right, so you mentioned Ed Sullivan. There's a local station here in Buffalo, and they kind of play like just old shows, programs, And on Sunday nights they do a half-hour version of an old Ed Sullivan show. And it's pretty cool to watch, like I saw when the Beatles were on for the first time. And
I was going to say, and I'm not being a smart ass, I was wondering if you actually saw that, Donny.
Well, I saw the rerun. I was too young to.
How little were you?
I was about.
You were like 18, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Did Sarah know who the Beatles are? Did she know who the Beatles are, you think? Sarah?
I do know who the Beatles are.
Yeah, they're bugs. They're about this big.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Oh.
You don't put them in your house. You get the pest control.
It's a car.
Those
it's a
yucky
car.
big red bugs are back, Sarah. They're
You
so
know,
gross.
it's funny. Aiden and I play slug bug all the time, but instead of hitting each other, he'll put his hand on my shoulder, like he's trying to get my attention. So we do it back and forth. Like I'll put my hand on his shoulder or his knee or whatever. And then we look at the other one. We forget we're playing the game. We'll look at each other. And then the other one's like, slug bug.
So I gotta
Slug
say,
bug?
I totally.
Do you remember that Volkswagen?
No.
You see, like,
It was
the
called
Beatles?
Punch Bug.
What the hell are you talking about? Slug bug.
Bug.
It's so dumb sounding. Punch bug's so much better.
No, because you slugged them.
You crazy Texans,
Punch
let me tell
bug.
you what. So I have actually
Northerners,
I have two birthdays. Not only is our buddy Gordon 86, I mean, he's almost as old as you, Don.
Oh,
But you would never guess this guy's 86 years old.
that's cool.
One of my daughters is turning, I don't know how much she's old, but it's her birthday today. I can't say her name because, she's not into all this podcasting stuff. And blah, 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 blah. So happy birthday to you, unnamed child. How about that?
Happy birthday.
So yeah, so everybody having a good day, and you really don't have any fog in McKinney?
I told you I haven't been outside yet.
Oh, you should look out the
I
window.
have been working hard all day today.
Just so you know, folks, Sarah is the only person in the world that works hard, so let's give her a little break, all right?
Yes, working hard
She's the only
every
one.
day. Now, whether it's actually working or my brain is making me think I'm working is irrelevant.
All right, Sarah, I know you really hate my inspirational messages, but
I do not hate them.
You hate them.
I do not
You hate
hate them.
them.
I just don't need 500 text messages of inspirational quotes from you on a daily basis. I'm just
Well, maybe you should read this one, Sarah.
Uh-oh.
I'm thinking you should read this one, my friend.
okay. You share it. Oh, and Donnie, the reason I say that was I was in like 4 different group chats with him from networking places, and he would send it to all 4. And I'm like,
there you go, Sarah.
that's the reason I say that.
Busy is a choice. Stress is a choice. Joy is a choice. Which one will you choose? Let's go, guys.
So I will say, as someone with ADHD, it depends on the day what I choose.
It depends.
Because I like
Shots,
staying busy.
Sarah. She said it depends. Shots for everybody. On the Donny Low Shooters, $20 for 4.
So with it being busy, I sometimes get joy from being busy because it keeps me moving and going and it makes the day go fast. And then other times I will veg out and play video games for an entire weekend because why not?
Now, Sarah is a texter, like her generation is. So I'll just call her just to aggravate her because I know she's not going to call me back. Or I know she's not going to pick up either. You know?
Yeah, you usually call me when I'm in a meeting.
Oh, okay. Whatever. Yeah.
Whatever.
I'm always,
No. I really
in a
look at it and
meeting.
go, oh my God, not Eddie. Oh.
In a meeting. Let me see if I can pull up the other one. Let me see.
Yeah.
It looked like we were in like London this morning. So
Was that bad?
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah, it was that bad the other day.
I could have swore I sent it to you guys, but I guess I didn't.
Oh, it's
I
funny
didn't.
because you guys know I took Aiden to NASA in Houston.
Yeah, I want to hear
so
about
my
that.
mom called me on Friday to see how everything was going. And I was like, yeah. She's like, oh, you're missing the weather here. It's just so rainy and cold and muggy. And I'm like, no, we have it down here in Houston too. I just went somewhere else to
It's only 5 hours away. Look at that, Don.
That's a typical January day in Buffalo.
Oh my God, ridiculous. But it's going to be 72 this afternoon, so figure that one out.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It'll burn
Although,
off then.
when I lived in Arizona for a few years, the desert was like that. You had to take a coat because it was so cold in the morning, but by the afternoon it was hot, and then you're like lugging a coat around all day. It was just like, yeah, those were fun times.
What part of Arizona?
I lived in Phoenix.
Oh, nice.
I only stayed there like a year and a half. Everyone out there, you had to have your degree, and I was working on mine, so it was really hard to like find a really good job out there. And the houses were so inflated by the people who lived in California and couldn't come over to Arizona. So like a house I could get here for 200,000 was $250,000, or not $250,000, $750,000 over there.
Oh my gosh.
So I was like, there's no way I can afford a house starting out here. And so I came back to Texas for that.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you were in Phoenix, Arizona, all the way to Tacoma, Philadelphia, and Atlanta, GA. Did you say those places you lived in?
No. Just Phoenix.
Arizona.
So here you go, Sarah, because you've been asking about her. Isn't she pretty?
I did see the text message about
Very
Paula.
festive.
Very festive.
Paula's beautiful. She's beautiful. So, well, are you ready to start your show? What are you talking about today, Sarah? Like, I don't know.
Like you don't know, right?
Taxes.
Taxes, but more specifically, Social Security. So I'm going to ask you guys questions to see how much you know about it. Because of course, everybody who has been listening to the podcast or watching knows I love history. And for some reason, I geek out about taxes and history. I don't know why, but I enjoy it. Actually, one of my acquisitions that I did last year gave me it was this year, gave me a tax book. One of the first few ones that were written, I think from 1917. Still haven't had a chance to read the book, but super excited I have it so I could read through the book.
Geez, Don, you were in your 30s, weren't you?
No, I was getting close to retirement age, so I was looking forward to it.
Wait a second, I'm a little hungry, so.
Oh, here we go.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
I know Sarah loves that.
I need to put something over the part of my monitor that shows Eddie trying to eat glue.
There is no trying. There's only do.
Do the glue.
Do the glue. That's another good T-shirt, Donnie. Do the glue. Yes. Yes.
So anywho, for those of you who are not watching, Eddie has the Social Security Administration website pulled up, where it actually shows the contribution and benefit basis. So from 1937 all the way to 2025, if you're like a high income earner, your Social Security usually gets capped after you pay whatever the maximum amount is. And 2025, for those who are interested, it's going to be a max contribution amount of $176,100. So anyone who makes to where they're contributing the maximum amount, that means your benefit payout will increase slightly whenever you do retire. But anything over that amount, you won't have to pay anymore. So that's usually what it means by contribution base or maximum amount contribution, just for those who are unsure. But what I always find funny is 1937 to 1950 was $3,000. So to think of how income has gone up, granted, inflation, housing market expenses go up more than our wages, but just think of how much of a gap that is.
It's crazy.
Which I always find awesome.
Well, it's really weird because I guess you could actually buy houses through Sears. You can buy a whole house for like $1,400. It's like, holy crapola. That's just crazy.
Yes.
You remember those times, Don, where you could buy penny candy that was actually penny candy.
Well, and they're trying to come back out with like modular homes and tiny homes. So people can buy them. But my thing is, especially with America, everybody knows this. We're not really a minimalist kind of country. A lot of people buy the bigger vehicles because
until the aliens come, right, Sarah?
So conspiracy.
Very conspiracy. So
wait, first of all, why did they let you and the ginger son of yours in the freaking control room at NASA? I want to know who's running the security there. Are they on drugs?
So what's even funnier is he wanted to get a NASA helmet because they have those little helmets for the little kids, and I'm like, I don't think they're gonna fit. And he's like,
you told him he had a big head.
It's
a ginger thing too. We all got big heads.
They're made for younger kids. He's going into teenage years. And we go and it fits on his head, but it's
another thing.
Here.
Aiden, I know he's not listening to the show. He might be in the room with you.
No,
don't say he goes on play dates anymore. All right? Don't say that anymore. That's wrong. You can't say that. Oh, we went on a really cute play date. I'm sure he's not really. Hey guys, what's going on? Yeah, I love it that our moms put together this play date. Yeah, they freaking rock.
Well, no, I don't say play dates. So let me know if I'm wrong. Did I say that?
It was so good. Go to You have said play date a million times. I'm like, poor Aiden. He's gonna just let's go on a play date.
Well, it's kind of like when he plays football, and I'm like, oh my god, that's so cute, that's so sweet, that's this, that's that. And he's like, Mom, no, it's not. It's not cute. It's not adorable. And I'm like, yeah, it is. You're my kid. I don't care.
Did you notice? Wait. Did you notice though, since Sarah and Aiden went down to the Nassau Space Center and they were in mission control, all of a sudden there's all these drone issues across the country.
Right.
Just saying.
I know. Just saying.
Don't start the conspiracy theory because you're leaking our secret. Just jeez, Donny. No. Anyways, it was a fun thing. We ended up getting him. It's a pillow where it's an astronaut
for
helmet.
his big ginger head. Is that what you're saying? Because he couldn't fit it in a helmet.
Oh my gosh.
It unfolds into like a jacket pullover hoodie thing that says NASA, and it has like a hood. And he wanted to get it while we were there. And I was like, wait until we leave. And of course, no, he didn't. And as soon as he puts it on, you see just all these people like, oh my God, that's so cute. Oh my God. And then you just hear murmurs around us talking about how adorable he is. And he's like, I should have waited till we left to buy this.
Poor decisions made, Aiden. Poor decisions made, my friend.
Well, it did help him out when we did go on like the little shuttles they have, because he doesn't bring jackets or hoodies. He thinks he knows what he's talking about.
A word about the little shuttles. I'm not saying a word. No.
So he was able to stay warm because he did have that. So it worked out great. But yeah, no, we had a blast.
Well, you didn't keep him warm. Oh, come to my bosom, little ginger son of mine. You know.
Okay, he would have killed me if I had said that.
And we'll get you home for your play date.
You know, what's funny is even as a toddler, like, you know how some babies you can pat on their back while they're falling asleep, or you can snuggle them and, you know, they love it. No, he was always like pushing my hand away. He's like, no, ma'am, I don't want to. No, don't pat my back. Leave me alone. And he still does it to this day. And I'm like, dude.
Whoa. How old is Aiden? How old is Aiden?
He's 12.
And you're still trying to birth that boy?
Yes. Yeah.
Well, I gotta say, you know, this is going back. I know I'm derailing the whole show, but I had to stop it so you leave the boy alone. I had a young lady work for me at collection agencies from Yemen. I'm not going to say her name, but very nice girl, awesome. But her 10-year-old boy and her 12-year-old son were still breastfeeding.
Wow.
So please tell me you're not doing that, Sarah.
Oh God, no. Are
you done? Are you still breastfeeding?
No. And I have a question for you.
More good. Yes, it is delicious and nutritious.
How much coffee and how many Pop-Tarts have you consumed today?
I haven't eaten a thing because, you know, Donnie's making me work my fingers to the bone working on this Roku channel. I'm at a point where that's like closer.
Eventually we can get on it.
Right now it's like a 4-letter word to me. What's that 4-letter word? Roku. That's another good t-shirt. Watch Eddie Buffalo, Sassy, Sarah, and Donny Lowe on that 4-letter word. Roku. All right. I am gonna mute myself and go get some coffee so you and Donny talk about the beautiful chart.
Get water.
What I find very hilarious is to get you to stop interrupting. You have to mute yourself and walk away.
I do. You know, because, you know, I'm a bit much. I know that. And, you know, honest to God, I said to myself, I promised to be so good on Sarah's show today. I said, maybe I'll just stay off camera and just produce the show and let her and Donny go on it. But would it be entertaining? Doubt it.
So, you know, what's funny is I usually give so much extra time to my show. Like that's why I try to talk very little, because I know you're going to end up derailing it with your craziness. And, you know, I factor you in. That's great.
Well, it's the Ike factor, because, you know, the first show you came back, Ike's like, I don't know about that show. I don't want to watch it anymore. I'm like, why?
Oh, he froze.
And you really didn't say much. So It's not Ike's fault today, just so you know. So
well, you just froze, so we didn't hear you. What did he say?
So he hated the first show that you were back. He goes, "That's boring." I go, "It's taxes. What do you want?" He goes, "Yeah, but you and Donny weren't saying much." So if you want to blame anybody for today's show, blame Ike at the North Pole. Send him some emails, Dirty Santa Claus. Because, you know, he was talking trash to me today, or he was saying, "God bless you, Merry Christmas." I don't know. It could have went either way. I'm not sure.
Oh my goodness. Well, I tried to make it as interesting as possible.
It's hard. It's hard, but you do a good job.
It's very hard to make it interesting.
He's like, ugh. I said to him today, I go, "Your favorite shows on today?" He's like, "Ugh." You know he's still watching it.
I like Ike.
For punishment. Yeah. Like I said, I like Nike. I don't like Ike. That's going to catch on eventually, Don.
It will.
Okay, so here's a question. When was the first Social Security number issued?
Well, that would be Donny Lowe in 1927 when he was born. He was 000000001.
Donny, what is your guess?
My guess, if it was based on the Social Security Act of 1935, probably in 1937.
You are correct. November 1937.
Oh, teacher's pet. Give him a gold star.
Oh, gold star. And so for those who don't know, the first three numbers of the Social Security is your mailing address. So it's based off of where you live. The group number is just ranges from 0 to 99. That's, I guess, to help them sequence more numbers. And the last four is numerical series. So the person before you would be whatever number less, less.
Sarah, I'm going to tell you something crazy. And let me ask you, because you've been doing a lot of taxes and that. So my date of birth is 9767. And the last four on my social is 7967. Have you ever seen anything like that?
So in all honesty, when I'm inputting everything, it goes in one brain and out the other. And I don't pay attention to that. I've actually had some people like, "Oh yeah, did you see where my wife worked?" Because we were going to the same church at the time. And I'm like, no, I just inputted the W-2. Like, I don't.
Did she work at Twin Peaks? Donny loves that place.
Oh my goodness. Anyway.
You have two brains? You said it goes inside one brain and comes out the other brain.
What? One for Donny Lowe.
That's why you're so smart.
That's why I'm so smart.
Are you a Gemini? Maybe you're two people.
I would not be surprised. I'm just saying.
Oh my God.
Anyways,
what is this show even about anymore? I have no idea.
How many Social Security numbers have been issued to date from November 1936? Sorry, you said 37. It was
see, maybe you should have studied more, Don, teacher's pet loser.
Hey, whatever. He was closer than you. Anyways, how many Social Security numbers do you think have been issued since November 1936?
I got it. A ton and a bunch.
That's a good number. That's a good guess. I'll give you a hint.
It's got to be
in the million, not the billion.
Well, I was thinking 700 million.
453.7 million.
That's crazy.
That is.
No, that is.
I don't mean
here's another question.
Yeah.
We'll do a question. Has any Social Security number ever been duplicated?
That's what I was just going to ask you. I don't know.
My guess is the probability statistically would be yes.
No,
I'm gonna say
they
yes.
do not reassign Social Security numbers. They assign 5.5 million new numbers a year.
Wow.
And the current numbering system will allow them to do a few more generations without changing the numbering system.
What happens? They just go back to zero when they get to there, or they add a number?
No clue.
You know, it's so funny how the younger generation does not know their social.
Oh my God, I've been telling my kids. My dad always taught me, know your social security number and your driver's license, because you're going to fill it out on every single freaking form, and it just makes it go faster.
So, Sarah, I got my first job working for the city of Buffalo, like married a youth job, when I was 12 years old.
Mm-hmm.
And I had to go get a social security card. Do you know I still have that same card? And it's got my 12-year-old signature on it. Because,
Me too.
My Aunt Alice worked at a company by the name of Colad, and she would laminate everything. So that thing is going to be here after the nuclear wars from the aliens.
Well,
Do you know that
tell you that you can't laminate it?
I was just going to say that.
Paper copy.
Oh, thanks, Aunt Alice. See, I thought she loved me.
I think they said it makes it invalid. It's not supposed to be accepted if it's laminated. But I've seen a few laminated.
Said that. I just show it, for different jobs and stuff like that, or even for when I got my passport. But that was fine. I think you're making that up. Are you drinking this morning, Sarah? I know Donny is.
It says on there. It says on the card, do not laminate.
Well,
I was going to say, I think it says it on the card.
What they say and what they do are two different things, aren't they?
Apparently. That's why everything has a warning label, is because somebody's going to do the thing that it says not to do.
Because, Donny, it's not one size fits all. It depends.
It does depend. Yeah.
Sarah, that's a great question.
Holy cow. Is that coffee or water? Come on.
You know what?
It's probably a little spiked something, like some spiked juice or something. Yeah. Yeah. Starting a little early, Mr. Eddie.
I wish. I got another meeting right after this. So come on. Pitter patter. Let's get at her.
Okay. So here's something that's interesting, because I mentioned how the rates are going up.
Do you want another graphic up, Sarah?
You can pull up the other one. So for those who are getting close to Social Security, retiring, you can also, Eddie's going to pull it up. If you just go to the Social Security website, which is
this
SSA.
One, Sarah, or the other one?
No, the other one.
SSA one? Okay.
Yeah. So it's www.ssa.gov. You can create an account, and it will show you how much you pay in each year. And then you can also do a benefit estimate. So there's like a little
under the eligibility.
There is eligibility, and then also benefit estimate.
It's like a 10-minute thing you gotta take.
You can also make sure that your income is being recorded correctly. So like if you're working at a shady employer, you can make sure that they're actually reflecting what you should be paying.
The link's broken, Sarah. Oh, here we go. I got it.
And so my mom's getting close to retirement age. She's actually going to retire at the end of January. And one of the things is she would call them, or we'd go through the estimate, because
this is cool.
She was going to retire last year, but her benefits pay out if she waits until the end of January of 2025. So that she was able to determine that.
This is really, I'm going to actually bookmark this page for myself. And if people didn't hear Sarah, or you're not watching it, it's ssa.gov/prepare. And I am going to actually, after we're off the air, look at all this, because it's a 10-minute thing, and I'm not going to do that on air.
Oh yeah, no, it's very helpful. I even have my own account, so I go in and look at my stuff periodically. What's funny is doing people's taxes, and it's not really funny, haha. It's just more of it's a sad funny, where people don't double check their W-2s. So that's they crazy. Don't know how much they're making, what taxes are coming out. They don't know that calculation. And then we'll go through and do the tax return, and they're sometimes I've had people come to me that worked for shady employers, and it was not accurate what was reported to the IRS to what they were given. So just always double check your W-2, make sure your wages are accurate. Social Security is employee portion is 0.062, and then Medicare is 0.0145. So you just have to multiply your gross income by those numbers, and you'll be able to figure out what you should be paying Social Security,
cool.
Medicare. There is some calculations of like, do you have 401k? Are you contributing to that? Health insurance? It does fluctuate, but that does give you an idea. You can also go to the IRS website to determine how much federal withholding you should be having taken out, so to make sure you're having the correct amount withheld so you don't owe in taxes. So there's a lot of calculators. Awesome. I kind of feel bad because it's like the Social Security Administration and the IRS provide way too much information for most people, but it's because they have to provide information for every scenario.
So
it can be overwhelming.
I have 2 questions for you, Sarah.
Sure.
Now, I mean, with all your clients, what is the norm? Do most people just have Social Security? Do people just have 401ks or some type of retirement plan, or do they have both? What do you think you see more of? Because I'm asking for a reason.
So I don't file if they just have Social Security as an income, because usually they're under that minimum or it's not taxable.
And percentage wise, how many people do you think are like that with just Social Security?
That would be hard to determine.
Well, throw something out. I mean, you see enough people.
A lot of the clients that I see, they always have investment accounts with it. If they don't have W-2 income. Like some are still pulling Social Security, but they have W-2. Because you have to remember, Social Security pays for the individual, and they also pay for spousal benefits.
And so that's a little plug for me and Donny, because we always say Social Security was not made to be your retirement package. Correct. It was to be a supplement. So if you don't have anything extra, you have something through work, or maybe you had it through multiple employers and it's just hanging out there somewhere, your money. You know, talk to a financial advisor. If it isn't me and Donny, check somebody in your area. But you can always call us on our hotline, 716-541-4118. And I'm going to derail you one more time, but it has something to do with your profession, Sarah.
Okay.
So everybody knows Allie Buffalo. She comes on the show, and I'm very proud of her because she went back to school to finish her degree. And these are the classes she took, Sarah. Financial accounting, principles of microeconomics, legal environment of business. Whoa, boy, we need that done. And management principles. So after being out of school for about 3-4 years, what do you think she ended up with her GPA for her first semester, Sarah?
Well, just because I know she's a hard worker, I would say, I never like to say 4.0 because I don't like putting hard standards on people, but I wouldn't be surprised because she's very smart. I'll just be 3.8.
What do you think, Donald?
That was the number that came to my mind, actually, 3.8.
You be a copycat. Don't be teacher's pet again to Sarah. Oh, I love you, Sarah.
3.81.
God, you both were so close. Allie Buffalo, her first semester back with some tough courses, 3.835. Ooh, way to go, Ella.
That was great.
God bless Allie Buffalo. She puts up with me every day. But I will say, it's a two-way street, because listen to that girl on her way to school or work. I said, that's another good podcast, because all that comedy gold is just wasted when she's like, this guy over here, the old people shouldn't drive, the young people shouldn't drive. I'm like, Al, so you don't want anybody driving on the road except you. So
I did look up the question that you had about how many people retire solely on Social Security. That number's about 40%.
That's awful.
Isn't that something?
That is. Well, and here's something else that goes into it. Okay, so they get Social Security. If you make $25,000 or less combined annual income, your Social Security is not taxable. If you make between $25,000 to $34,000, 50% of your Social Security is taxable, and $34,000 and up, 85% is taxable.
I'm going to ask you a question, Sarah, and I don't know if you're going to have the answer to it or not, but I'm going to ask you anyways. Because back when I was a kid, I mean, there was a lot of people that worked off the books. and which is great for them, you know. But when it comes time to Social Security, they didn't contribute enough. So say if you're a person that's worked off the books for many, many years and you want to retire at 62, how many years you got to be on the books so you actually get some type of money from Social Security?
So it goes based off of what you pay in. It's not really a set amount. And I can use this as an example. I had a client a few years ago. He was a federal employee. So he didn't have Social Security. He was getting benefits elsewhere through the federal government. And he thought he was supposed to get Social Security. So we're pulling it up, but it only had reflected he worked 3 years out of his life that was eligible for Social Security. So he didn't qualify for it.
Now, Sarah, in 3 years, I'm going to be getting my railroad retirement.
Mm-hmm.
And once you work for the railroad, you don't pay into Social Security. But all my other jobs over my lifetime, I have. So even though I'm going to get a railroad retirement, will I still qualify for Social Security, or is it like one or none?
I would tell you to create an account on the Social Security Administration website.
Ask them those
and
questions.
It will be able to tell you what's been paid in. I can't recall if it actually tells you like what your benefits would be based off of that. I think you have to do a calculator and talk with them. It's been a while since I've logged in, but it will at least tell you what's been paid in every single year, the total amount paid in, how long it's been paid in. You'll be able to see everything there.
Because I mean, so many people are unaware that railroad workers do not pay into Social Security. And why is that, Don?
I forgot there was an act, but I don't remember because it was a self-funded pension.
Railroad retirement's been around longer than Social Security.
Yeah,
that's why. So
well, and so here's the thing. So we've had taxes on Social Security for a long time. I can't remember the exact year. I know that it was a certain politician. I will not say who because we're not turning it into a political thing. Go and research. But this certain politician helped, and of course, I mean, it was a group of people, not just this one politician, enacted to start taxing Social Security. My thing is it's a tax already on your income. Why is it being taxed again? To me, that's double taxation. Mm-hmm. And Congress put something in place in 2021 to not tax Social Security. And also tier 1 railroad retirement benefits. I have to look up and see when that was or like what kind of came of it. Since we're still taxing Social Security, I would assume nothing. And I know that there was another plan put in early 2024. And I know that's another thing that they're saying now that they're going to try to eliminate Social Security taxes, which would be great and beneficial for, of course, people.
Oh my God, yeah.
Yeah.
It's sad that a lot of the people that I see owing are the older generation who their retirement benefits are pushing them into the bracket where their Social Security is being taxed, and they can't survive taxing their Social Security, and they can't increase their federal withholding and their retirement benefits from their retirement accounts because they need to make sure it stretches out to survive.
Yeah, it's a vicious cycle. It's
a vicious cycle. And just an idea for minimum Social Security if you do qualify for it, like you paid in it every year or whatever. They're saying an eligible individual, you could receive $967 a month. An eligible couple would be $1,450. That's for 2025. Now that does not mean if you've been paying higher amounts in, that's if you've been paying bare minimum. The maximum Social Security benefit. So if you remember, I'm trying to pull up so in 2025, the maximum amount you can pay in is $176,100.
Says 168 there, Sarah.
176,100. That was.
Is this an old one?
No, it says goodbye to the.
Oh, I got you. Sorry about that.
But the maximum benefit that you can get for Social Security in 2025 is $5,108 or $16,200.
There's the 176 number, Sarah.
And that's if you're
For
maxing
2025.
out the tax. So that's the majority of the higher income earners. So that kind of gives you into that situation.
That's it.
And then here's a question. Eddie, you can do a poll. Yeah, I know you said I could do
Oh, yeah.
Let's do a poll.
So is Donny gonna be naked again on the podcast? Yes or no? That's the one?
That is not the question I was gonna ask.
Oh, dang.
Please.
Let me
Don't
stop.
make me sir you.
Don't
I'm
make
afraid of you, Donny. What is your poll, Sarah?
So the poll is, do you think the Social Security Administration should be dissolved? Like, just basically get rid of it and find either a different program or something else in its place, or just say fend for yourselves kind of thing. I don't care which. It's just more of, do they think that it is serving its purpose, or should it just be gotten rid of?
And he's typing in the poll.
Typing in the poll.
For all the viewers, go down to the lower right-hand corner. You'll see a circle with a triangle, a square, and a circle. Click on that, and the poll will show up there.
It's launched.
Should be gone. I love how you said that.
You guys see it?
Yes.
Yeah.
I see my vote.
So when
I said no.
When I did introductory accounting classes, one of the classes covered Social Security and taxes, payroll taxes. And one of my question was, instead
Hey,
of
both of you
saying,
vote too, because we tried this the other day and it didn't work for us. So I want to make sure I'm seeing at least your votes. Because Becca said she could not do it. One of you guys, there you go. So
I voted. I voted.
I wonder if it's working because we're on the same thing. Hopefully people can let us know in the comments if you can vote or not.
And if not, just put in your at the comments.
Yeah, what you want to do. That's a good idea.
Yeah. So something I always did is, because I wanted to expand the conversation, is like, okay, if you think Social Security should be dissolved, how should it be replaced? What is going to replace it? What, if you think it can be fixed, what are your thoughts of how to be fixed? Like, I always wanted to expand it.
It's really gone up, Sarah.
Conversation.
This goes back to 2015. Look how low it was compared to what it's going to be.
Oh yeah. That's insane. Amazing. And then if you notice, 2015 and 2016 were the same numbers.
I'm going to leave this up for a couple more minutes, but I don't think people are able to use it yet. We got to mess around with this, Don.
Okay.
And it's just showing ours right now. So right now, a third of it says no. That's me. I'm a third. Plus, okay. Your thumbnails on my screen, you guys are so tiny, I can't even see you. It's almost like actual size of Donny.
Oh, look at that.
So I have another question. So we're playing trivia.
Okay.
There was only one lump sum payment from Ernest Ackerman.
Who the hell's that?
Ever received from Social Security. I know, some old guy who's no longer.
Oh, Don should know him.
But, and I'm going to give you, there was a woman named Ida Mae Fuller who was the first person to receive ongoing monthly payments.
Really?
What state was she from?
Iowa.
Oh, I was going to go with Illinois.
Vermont.
That was my second choice.
No, it wasn't, you liar. Yes, teacher, that was my second choice.
Yeah, I knew that was a long shot of you guys knowing, because I'm like, I didn't even know that. But yeah, Vermont was the first state that had someone who received monthly ongoing benefits.
Interesting. Very interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Very interesting.
Schultz.
Well, that was a. Do you have anything left for us today, Sarah?
No. I kind of figured you had a Pop-Tart kind of day, so you know.
Yeah, I think we're at our time limit too.
Yet. Yeah, we're getting close. reason. So they could share something more uplifting. There he is. Everybody hates him now because he's doing so well. There you go, Dallas. Suck it. That's the MVP right there of America's real team, the Buffalo Bills with their red, white, and blue. That kind of bit me in the butt when I said that to one of the Texans. He go, red, white, and blue. So you guys are more patriotic than the Patriots? I'm like, I said, don't worry about it. You guys suck anyways. So, but this was a very interesting show. It brought up a lot of good questions. Answered some questions for me, and I know I will definitely be going on to that website, Sarah. That was really great. What was the name of it again? Do you remember offhand?
www.ssa.gov.
I'll share it again. Oh, no, that's the email you sent me. Never mind. We'll leave up Josh Allen for the rest of the show because he needs to be there. So, like I said, it was a great show, great information. Oh, was it exciting enough for you? Yeah, because we do this show just for you, you know.
Well, I and anybody else who's listening, send us ideas on things that you want to hear, because I can tell you what I experience with my clients and questions that they have. But if there's something specific that would make it more interesting, please let me know. But I can only make taxes so interesting when it's not a 30-second short on TikTok. Just
I know, right?
I know, because I see them and I'm like, oh, that's so interesting. And then I'm like, oh, but there's all the information I can add to that would suck the fun out of it.
It's like when me and Donny get excited. Oh, do you see what they're doing with the insurance? What the annuity that we can sell now? Every place except you.
I know.
Well, and it's funny because that's what pushed me. Like accounting, I always played with numbers in my head to pass time, like really dorky crap. For example, I will look at a clock and I will add, subtract, divide, and multiply numbers and try to get to the lowest prime number possible. Like I had to go into accounting if I did nothing else. Like that was literally my fun time.
That's so funny.
And I went to a workshop when I was working for an employer, and they started talking about taxes, and I was getting so excited, like, oh my God, that's amazing news. Like, and I'm like, oh God, I need to go into taxes. Like, why am I getting this excited over new tax laws?
Let me see if we're somewhat related. Now, when you play games with people and it involves math, do you do their scores before they get a chance to?
No. Because usually it's like my mind is so spent on math from day-to-day stuff that I'm like, no, thank you.
I have a bad habit of that.
I actually downloaded an app that's supposed to help with your ADHD, and it gives you all these different practice things.
You need to send me that.
I'll send it to you.
I'm sure I'm undiagnosed.
It was funny because they would give me math at the time where my brain is like, no math for you today. And so I was doing I was doing really, really poorly. And I'm like, I'm so much better at that. And I had to redo it at a time I knew I could do math.
People are asking what's on.
It's not like 2 + 4. I was doing fine with those things, but it was like the parentheses, and then you got to divide it, and then you got to look at another number and do that math quickly. Is it the same? Is it different? Is it higher? Like there was so many things going on. It was amazing and it's fun. And yes, I'm a dork, and I'm getting excited talking about it.
5 different people have asked, "What's on your shirt?"
It's a dress.
Like, is it a design or something?
It's just a design.
So for fashion tips for the tax individual near you, talk to Sassy Sarah. She'll talk to you about all kinds of fashion tips.
I just grabbed anything out of the closet. I was the one who wore sneakers with socks that were different colors when I was in high school, and I still do it now because I don't care.
As long as you don't wear socks with slides, that drives me nuts.
No.
You don't got Crocs, do you?
Oh God, no.
I hate those things too. So.
My kids do, and I'm like.
So thank you for all the information, Sarah.
That's very valuable.
I apologize for the poll not working. And I apologize for Donny being a little bit much and taking over the show. But that's how he is. So we're gonna end the show like we always do. If you like working with people that are just like you can reach us at www.ebiagency.com. Sarah has a link on there. You can reach me at eddiebettnarsinsurance@gmail.com. And our hotline is 716-541-4118. And we thought I'd leave beautiful Paula the palm tree, all her, holiday goodness, so everybody could look at it. So we're gonna have a short week next week. You're doing a show next week, young lady.
I'm doing a show next week.
Do a Christmas show, and you're gonna dress up. You gotta dress up for it. You too.
I have this cute little ugly. It's not an ugly sweater.
Ugly.
Almost there, and it has a reindeer on it.
Do y'all use that when you're going on play dates and talk to the other moms while Aiden's playing with the little fellas? Oh, she got nothing. She's about to serve me. I can tell.
Oh yeah, I'm holding it in.
So
it's time.
Good show, and remember, folks, life's worth living. Be good to yourself. It's worth it. And what else, Don?
Keep on fighting, baby.
Give you luck today. So we'll see you tomorrow on what are you doing? Viewers' questions tomorrow, Don? Or we have a lot to talk about Bitcoin, so I don't know which way we're going to go tomorrow. So you got to tune in to find out.
That's right.
So same bad time, same bad channel. Were you going to say that, Don? See that chip I put in your brain to know what you're thinking. It's working. Thank you, Elon. You're awesome, buddy. Love you. So we are out of here. See you tomorrow, everybody.
Ciao.
Bye.
Ciao. You gotta be kidding me. I think that was an interesting show just because,